getting ready to stream. There we go. All right, we're recording and now we're just waiting to make sure that we're streaming. Look at baby Bo. Best baby ever.
He loves me.
Amelia, not so fast. I call dibs. Aunt Jamie is for fighting words.
Oh, you guys are really don't stand a chance. He's my Bo friend.
Wait a second, wait a second.
Oh, here comes Grandma. She's waiting in. All right, guys, I know we're
I
into
think
record
Lolly
mode.
wins.
We're just getting ready to stream here. Kathy's got her hand up. Hi, Sarah. We're getting ready to stream. Teresa. Look at Kathy's face, the stress of it all. Because usually this is so easy.
It's not cooperating tonight as easily, but we're almost there, guys. We're almost there.
Okay.
Well, while we're waiting, I just have to tell you, I'm going to pick up my younger son. He's at a nacho party. A nacho party.
Oh, and nacho party. All right. We are recording and we are streaming. And thank you for that, Jamie Cantrell. Her son is at a nacho party. I think you said nacho. Not, are you saying macho as in macho man?
No, like nacho, I'll bring the chips and queso. Yes, and he's 13. He has a better social life than anyone.
All right. So much. Thank you for that clarification. All right, guys, it's Monday night. Hello, hello, hello. And many of us are back from Atlanta. And I have to tell you, I just feel like after 2.5 years of being in a COVID coma and a slumber, I just kind of feel like we're back. Show of hands, how many people feel like we're back? Oh my gosh. The company really pulled it off. I mean, they really, really, really pulled it off. It was captivating and engaging and educating and informative. And so we're going to try to bring a little of that home right now. Hang in there, because there's nothing like being there in the seat yourself. But here we go. 23 new national marketing directors. 23. Now, some of them made national marketing director 2 years ago and didn't have the ability to do their NMD speeches because of the lockdowns and all things COVID. And it was just, guys, again, some people made it and like, you know, they were giving their speech and they did it like in 2 years, 5 years. But there were new NMDs that took them 10 years. There are NMDs that took them 15 years. I think there was an NMD that took her 18 years. But guys, they did it in a season. And I'm looking at the man in the mirror and the reflection is Terry Luongo. They kept sharing the message through the entire COVID season. They did not stop. They were using all the tools that we have. They were working with all things digital, which wasn't working for them any more than it was working for most of us. And they kept showing up and they kept showing up and they hit their goal. And so that's why this morning, when the song on my brain was Rise Up, I think what we have to remember, and this was what put on my heart when I was listening to those NMD speeches, I think we have forgotten the power of the powder that's in those capsules. I think we have completely forgotten how it's transforming people's lives. I think we have forgotten that every man, woman, and child that crosses our path needs this powdered plant produce. We heard stories about people coming out of comas. We heard, and there was no, I mean, there was like, you can't tell your story. That did not apply on stage. You know, cancer stories, Crohn's disease, children's health stories, moms who were, they're desperate, single moms, desperate, trying to raise 3 children with not even enough money to buy their own product, rising up. I mean, it was blowing my hair back. We cried so much during that conference because there were so many stories that ripped our hearts out. So as a team, our motto moving into Phoenix, it is time for us to wake up and rise up and start telling people that we run at our paths, and our memory jogger list, on our reach outs, that these powdered plants change you at the cellular level and they affect your DNA. End of story. 23 new national marketing directors who were not asleep during COVID and not waiting for things to change. I mean, and I fell into that. I've been waiting for things to change. Okay, John Mayer had that song, and if guys know I'm a John Mayer fan. Hey, just because I figured out that it takes 17 hours to get from my front door in Oregon to his door in Montana. Okay, so I'm a bit of a fan, but his song, I'm waiting on the world to change. I'm done. Guys, we need to become agents of change. We need to become agents of change. So much to share with you. The first thing I want to share with you is our brand new swipe file that has to do with our family study, our children's family study. Kathy, if you want to pull that up, because guys, this is a tool. This is a tool for engagement. And so the whole purpose of this swipe file was that, I think we use the family study as like an adjunct at the end of the sale. Oh, by the way, do you have children between the ages of 2 to 14? Well, then you can participate in our family study. We put this together because we wanted to use the family study as an introduction to Juice Plus, and an introduction. We believe this will even become a recruiting tool. So here is, a picture is worth 1,000 words. What I think you're going to see here is not a lot of verbiage. The best deal in daily plant. I'm hoping we'll change that to plant food nutrition. We're working on that. Juice Plus Healthy Starts. Go ahead, Kathy, the next one. And this is a swipe file. You send this entire file, text it to somebody, and they can look at it on their phone. The largest, Kathy, go back. The largest family health study of its kind, with 4 million people impacted. That in itself, you want to talk about credibility? And here's the deal. Somebody looking at that, 4 million people, the largest family health study of its kind, this speaks safety. This speaks safety in spades. Next slide. Parents report significant benefits. Now, we know that there are more benefits than this, but because this was created by the Healthy Affiliate Group that I'm a part of. We created this, and we felt that 3 major bullets or 3 major nuggets are, well, the brain can't focus on more than 3 things. So we picked our top 3, 61% eating more fruits and vegetables, 66% visiting the doctor less office, and 56% are taking fewer over-the-counter prescriptive drugs. That is huge. Next slide. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, there's the plant powders. Okay, and I love this. We've got you. What does that say? Is that we understand you. We understand you, moms. We understand you, dads. We understand what you're going through every single day. We understand your challenges. We've got you. Daily plant-based support, Juice Plus. And I love that. Yes, we want parents on the fruits and vegetables and the vineyard blend and the omega blend. But when we're talking the health study, kids are only getting the fruits and vegetables. And how many of you have had customers get back to you and say, well, my child doesn't have any vineyard. And so this really expresses that what the child gets is the fruits and the vegetables. Next slide. 2 for 1. I can tell you the home office really did not like 2 for 1. And we had about a 20-minute dialogue over 2 for 1, but they agreed that it was impactful. And then look at our language showing up, the best deal of its kind. Free capsules or chewables for 4 to 8-year-olds and college-age students with each adult purchase of Juice Plus Essential Fruit and Vegetable Blend. 2 for 1. Okay, next slide. Winter's story. You know, she's a world-renowned athlete. That speaks volumes. The next slide. Our own Dr. Sears. Don't you love Dr. Sears? We were asking for something a little different, quote from Dr. Sears, but this is the one that we have. America's pediatrician. Next slide. And some stories. All right. Mom of 3. Next slide. And she just crossed the stage as National Marketing Director. And of course, our own Michaela Peterson, pharmacist. Next slide. Rihanna, I don't know Rihanna Sanford, but look at that beautiful family. Next slide. Healthy Starts for the Family, Juice Plus. For over 20 years, we've been empowering families to make meaningful lifestyle changes. Together, we can continue to help nourish families for generations to come. Okay, Kathy, thank you very much. All right, that is already on our boards. If you have boards, if you don't have boards and you want that link, please let your upline National Marketing Director know. Because starting in November, going to be some sort of a campaign for November and December business with our family study AROs and orders. So that's kind of exciting. So what I love is, my friends, we finally have a seat at the table and the company is talking to us about our ideas and we are thrilled. So show of hands, how many of you are kind of excited about that swipe file? Yeah, I think it's going to definitely grow some business. Okay, the next order of business is that if you were in the room, how many of you recognize this little packet? All right, you had to be in the room to get samples of our new non-soy complete. And, you know, the room went wild because we've been asking for this for a long, long time. Chocolate and vanilla. The protein blends are yellow pea protein, rice protein, fava bean protein. I thought that was fascinating. Pumpkin seed protein, sunflower seed powder, and the rest of the ingredients. Now, this is a beta test. Only those of us that were in the room get to sample these. And there'll be a survey coming out probably in the next couple of weeks asking us how we feel about our non-soy complete. But I know it's going to be an amazingly successful launch because we've been asking for it for a long time. So I'm excited. Has anybody tried it yet? Anybody that went to conference got their packets? No, I know. What are we waiting for? Okay, next Monday night, we're a terrible beta group. We're terrible, but I'm excited about it. All right, so next I'm going to ask Abby Nowlin to share with us a little bit. Abby, our keynote speaker, Jason Hewlett. Oh my gosh, did you ever think you could laugh so hard? All right, he was the MC at the Eltons. And I have to tell you, we laughed. We almost wet ourselves. We laughed so hard. He's an incredible MC. He's an incredible singer, entertainer. I didn't know he was like a keynote speaker too. When he was on stage, I was like, I thought he was just going to riff some songs. I didn't know that he had a whole leadership program. And what he talked to us about was something that's stronger than goals, is the promise that you make to your family, the promise that you make to your community, and the promise that you make for yourself. So Abby, you want to unmute yourself. What was your takeaway from conference?
Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Those of you that were not at conference, you were missed. I cannot encourage you enough to book your ticket for Atlanta. It's going to be amazing. It was so good to be back in person. So my promises and takeaway from Jason, I was sharing with Terry on Saturday night was, so the promise to myself is I am going to focus on not finding my worth in my checklist and what I get done in the day-to-day in this new season of motherhood. I've really kind of struggled with that. I'm such a doer and a list checker offer. And this has been very humbling for me in that regard. And so the last, especially the last 75 days of this year, I'm really going to focus on not finding my worth in what I get done in a day. And then business-wise, I am wanting to increase my paycheck by $500 by April and be at 4 Club. So those are my personal and business promises to myself.
There you go. So, and I know that I know you, I know your level of engagement and activity. And I know you're going to stretch yourself to get there because I know you, Abby. All right. So Abby, you had some notes that you took down about our research and an incredible new tool that we have for research.
Yes. So 2 screenshots that I have here in front of me that I took from the screen. So this first one that I'll share with you was from the University of Memphis, and it was the impact of dried fruit and vegetable supplements and fiber-rich shake on gut and health parameters in female healthcare workers. So here's what they found, that there were improved glucose clearance, and increased fecal butyrate, which butyrate is that really good bacteria in your gut. And then the JP Complete intake and improved concentrations of health beneficial microorganisms. So this study can be found at the Juice Plus Science Institute, which I know once I share this last study, Kathy's going to bring that up. Now, this other one that I wanted to share with you was from the University of Murcia in Spain, the effects of fruit and vegetable-based nutraceutical on cognitive function in a healthy population. This was placebo-controlled. Effects of fruit and vegetable nutraceutical on biomarkers of inflammation and oxidative status in the plasma of a healthy population. And then anti-inflammatory and antioxidant capacity of fruit and vegetable nutraceuticals measured by some words that I won't try to pronounce on Facebook Live and Zoom, but basically the results of the study. They were consuming the Juice Plus fruit, veggie, and berry capsules, improved cognitive function, increased dopamine, which is huge, y'all. That's the happy hormone. So people wrestling with depression, this is huge. Reduced oxidative stress, another word. I even had trouble pronouncing it when I shared it with Terry. Some word that starts with an H. It's good to reduce it. And then reduce low-grade inflammation. So.
Okay, I love it, Abby. Okay, Kathy, before you pull up this next tool, our research now is leaning towards the microbiome, which is really the integrity of your microbiome is really the integrity of your overall health. And also, so the microbiome and cognitive research. Wow, I think we're putting our attention in the right place. So, the Juice Plus Science Institute. Go ahead, Kathy, pull that up because we all have access to this. At least I believe we do. Look at that. We know the power and the potential of plant-based nutrition. Can you scroll down, Kathy? I'm really going to accredited healthcare professionals sign up. If you are an accredited healthcare professional and would like to gain access to exclusive content on plant-based nutrition research, click on the button below. So we have chiropractors on our team. We've got physician's assistants on our team. We have doctors on our team. Please, this week, get this link, get this website to them so that they can sign up, so that they will see the power of what we're doing and really have hands-on access to our research. Go ahead, Kathy. Look at this, featured studies. So Abby, I'm not going to ask you to read this because I can't say a lot of these words either. But you could see how a medical professional would be incredibly impressed with this website. So Again, Kathy, the website is, would you speak that?
It is JPS as in Sam, I.info.
Everybody have that? You want to repeat it one more time?
JPSI.info. I'll put that in the chat when we get back.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, thank you, Abby, for sharing, and I love your promises to yourself. All right, I thought next I would ask Ann Kennedy, Senior Sales Coordinator. Ann, you here? There you are. Ann, okay, live conference sitting there. We were, I think, 3,000 people. That's what Sean Myers told me, that we had hit 3,000 people. And it was great energy. It was a great size conference. What were your takeaways, and what's your promise to yourself, if you don't mind sharing? Go ahead, honey.
Yeah, it was so nice to be back in person with everybody that was there. It was, and like Terry was saying, the energy was so good. Everything was, it was just a really strong conference, a really great way to come back to everybody being in person. But really for me, I feel like, you know, I did fall asleep in the COVID coma, and I'm ready to be done with that, because I think the main thing that stood out to me is I really became comfortable with being in the shadows and not being real, like Terry said, we kind of forgot the power of our plant powders. And I kind of did, because I kind of let people's no's and cancellations and questions really quiet me down, because I was thinking that I was doing something wrong or whatever. And I just felt like I walked away from this conference with just a renewed focus on, you know, everybody doesn't have to believe what I say, or they may not be there yet, but as long as I believe it, you know, and am faithful to the message to carry it out, then, you know, I don't need to take personally what, you know, when they, in my mind, reject the message, but they're just not ready for it yet. But it still doesn't mean, like, I was really worried about people's opinions of what I was doing in this business and what I was talking about affect me, instead of some of the national marketing director speeches were saying, you know, like, what about those people that are just dying and desperate for something that we have? And why am I letting the people opinions and the cheap seats, as we learned from Brene Brown, why do I let those people impact the mission that I feel like God's called me to? And so I am not going to sit in that anymore. I don't like being in shadows. I like to be a light, but you know, we have to be vulnerable sometimes, but that's okay. And so I think just walking away from being in person at conference with these people, many of you that were there, it's just so empowering to be surrounded by this incredible group of people, and just to know that it's some of the things that we're talking about goes way against the grain, and it's people don't understand it yet. But just listening to all those speeches was really, really powerful. I think my favorite quote from one of the national marketing director speeches, this lady had struggled with an eating disorder. She's a speech pathologist, and she had a child that had, I think, asthma or some issue. But, you know, what she said resonated with me a whole lot. She said, she's more scared of leaving this earth having answers than for being judged on earth for sharing them. So she was more, sorry, I don't know if I said that right. She was more scared of leaving this earth, dying with the answers, than being judged for sharing them on earth. I was like, yes, 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 yes. I know that what we have can help a lot of people, even with their income. Even $500 a month would change people's outlook in a big, big way. And so I am committed, made a promise to myself to live out that calling and be faithful with the message, to tell everybody about it and not take personally if they say no, because it's not something I need to take personally. And one other thing that I took away from prayer breakfast is sometimes I battle with whether I'm spending too much time on Juice Plus, and just with my faith and spiritually, I just want to also honor God with my time. And so one thing that he said that really was powerful to me is that our work, I guess the original word for worship is workship. So the work that we do, the gifts that he's given us, the calling that he has on our life, that translate into our work does honor him and does, so I don't know, it was just really freeing to me. This whole weekend was really freeing. And I just pictured myself the other day, just kind of breaking free, like just being bound up, and
Wow.
ready to just roll. So, it was a powerful, powerful weekend for me.
Wow, Anne, that was powerful. Yeah. Okay, well, Anne Kennedy, thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
I
I'll be off
loved, I loved having you there. And I think there was maybe 30, 35 of us from Team Up Community. And
Awesome.
I think as we roll into Phoenix, why don't we put a 1 in front of that? 130, 135, because we've got the membership. We've just got to, they've just got to make the decision to go. All right, thank you, Ann Kennedy. Alicia Garland, she's a Partner Plus under the Jamie Cantrell organization. Alicia, excuse me, unmute yourself, because you're a Partner Plus and you're sitting in this room and there's 23 national marketing directors crossing the stage. And was this your first live conference?
Yeah, it was.
So, okay, what was your takeaway? What was your takeaway as really a new rep showing up to conference?
So what really stuck out to me and kind of like pulled at my heart was when it was said, I can't control what's going on around me, but I can control taking the capsules every day and putting the goodness in my body. And at church, I work with girls and the youth, and every Sunday, every Wednesday, we teach them about the Bible. We teach them, how to be more like Christ. And as a leader, I try to show them the example of like taking control of their actions. But I can't control, what they do when I'm not with them. I can't control what they think, what they say, what things that they see. So I just hope and pray that they're making the right choices, just like God hopes that I can make the right choice about taking care of my body. And just, ingesting these capsules every day is just one easy thing that I can do. And as a lactation consultant, I want to be examples to others by sharing what I have learned about nutrition, because it's important to have that nutrition before and during pregnancy and after for breastfeeding. So my promise to myself is just showing up every day and invite one person a week to learn more about Juice Plus, either through in person or through social media.
There you go. There's a promise for you. You know what we need to take a look at? Maybe somebody here tonight might know. Where do you live, in Garland, Alicia?
In Greenville.
In Greenville. I wonder, there must be lactation specialists. Jen Hageman is shaking her head. Yes, yes, yes. Groups of people that you might be able to start working, networking in the same field that you're in.
I'm trying.
Okay, all right, we need to take a look at that. All right, that is so exciting. Thank you for saying yes, and thank you for coming for conference. All right, the next thing I want to look at is this brought the house down, is that the United States Performance Center is partnering with the Juice Plus company to provide fruit, vegetable, and berry powdered blends, food blends to every Olympic and national team athlete that trains there. So they're a training center for athletes, they're a training center for Olympic athletes. And their fueling stations will serve the complete and the perform to each athlete daily for plant powder performance, plant powder recovery, and glycogen replacement. Wow. Okay, so Kathy, I know that you have the video that goes with that. Watch it, because it's a great video, and we all have access to it. Wow. That's a major, major win. That's a major win for us. And, you know, feel free to share that. And the Performance Centers in Charlotte, North Carolina. And isn't that our next conference? Or is that, no, we're Phoenix, and then in the fall, we're Charlotte, North Carolina, right? So I see a lot of Juice Plusers taking a side trip. I bet you the company will even do something around the Performance Center and our conference. It's going to be a great experience for us. That is so cool. All right, next, I thought I would add our resident PA, physician's assistant, who's always on the leaderboard every single week for new AROs. Amy Hopkins, want to unmute yourself, honey? Amy. She must have fallen off there for a second. She'll probably jump back on. Coming soon, Stuart. Gosh, I love Stuart Carnaggi. How many of you just love her? You should have seen her at the NMD meeting. She came bouncing out like, remember Winnie the Pooh's Tigger? That's the first thing. She was just like bouncing up and down like Tigger. She was, oh, here we go. Now I'm frozen.
Keep talking, Terry. We could hear you. Amy, if you want to talk, go right ahead. You're back.
All right, I apologize. I'm back. You know, but when I said she looked like Tigger, that's when all your faces froze. And I had all of these pictures of you guys were just like that, hysterical laughing. But that's what she was so excited to be with us that her energy was exploding and she was like jumping around like Tigger. I got to tell you, that's heartwarming. That's a great way to greet 400 NMDs, is it not? Okay, so Amy, there you are. Amy Hopkins. Girl, welcome. Unmute yourself. Talk to me from medical point of view and personal point of view. You're still muted. You're still muted, honey.
Okay, can you
There
hear me
you
now?
are.
You may not be able to
Yes.
see me.
I can hear you and I can see you.
Okay. Okay, great. So I will tell you, this was very energizing, and I really like Anne's words of being freeing. You know, it was just incredible. The energy that you get from being with people it just really came through. And the NMD speeches were just incredible. I loved hearing our phraseology and all the work that y'all are doing. I love seeing our images up there on the stage and on the big screen. They were pretty cool to see that. You know, just validating what y'all are doing with you and Jeff and the whole team. It's just it's going to trickle through and it's going to come down the line and it's going to be great. It's already great. And you know, a lot of what I got, one of the big things I want to mention is Pamelia was sitting there. We were trying to figure out, you know, what was kind of the common theme among these NMD speeches. And what I got was intentional action. And that just resonated real big with me because, you can have, I'll listen to Bob Helig again in his podcast, and he said, you know, you can have personal development and you can have personal growth. He said, but you don't want to be stuck. You got to act at some point and you got to be intentional about what you're doing. And so they really, you know, they added fuel to their fire and they started to move and they started to act. And that is what brought them to NMD in 14 months. That is what brought them through the process. So the last thing that I want to say is the messaging, hearing the research and being able to bring that home and having that research institute to send my colleagues to, that is going to be awesome. And they're actually going to come out with, I don't know if y'all heard him say, but they're going to come out with a 10 to 15 minute PowerPoint that we will be able to share that will summarize the research. So that'll be great. Oh, it won't.
Go ahead.
And then I don't know if you could hear me or not, but he mentioned, Dr. Lampart mentioned something about that. And then the last thing that I wanted to say is a few things I heard. Your gut health is directly correlated to your health outcome. And we have more and more research coming out about that just in the field of nutrition. And, you know, we are leading the way in doing that. And functional food really does change the physiology of your body, including your children's bodies. And so, you know, it was an incredible time and I loved it and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you. All right, guys. One more thing coming. I don't know how soon. I don't know if Jamie's still on or if Jamie's off, but Jamie worked on a panel all about a customer referral program. It's coming, guys, where your customers don't have to become representatives. If they share a link with a friend, a neighbor, and that person gets on Juice Plus, that customer will receive credit or something. It's still a little vague to me what that's going to actually look like, but it's another program that's coming to help us get the word about Juice Plus out to the world. All right, so, okay, I'm just looking around the room. I know we're running over, but I don't care. Jen and Henry Hageman, National Marketing Directors. What was your takeaway from conference?
Fantastic conference.
Fantastic conference.
Loved Stuart.
Yes.
I just thought she was so on point and so on message. I mean, for her to be able to come out with Wendy Campbell after that close, you can't kind of fit Paulo out there if he could come out, and it would have been sort of matter out of place with that much energy. But I'm telling you, she has got the eye of the tiger. She wants to get this done and she has our back.
Yeah, she was really impressive. It was thrilling to see that we've only seen her on Zoom for
I know,
a couple of years.
to
so
meet her
in
was
person
really fun.
and realize there's a really powerful but also kind human being there. It's
Who I
awesome.
think really gets our business.
Yeah, I think she really gets it.
You know, I think that's the thing that some people have been nervous about, because she comes from sales in a more traditional, you know, venue or whatever model, and to understand how we work, I think really excites her.
This company will double in size in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, with her at the leadership, we're still ironing out some kinks, but boy, I got to tell you, that's why you want to get some momentum under your belt now.
Absolutely.
I agree with you completely, Jen and Henry. I think that we're going to hit that goal of that kind of growth.
She doesn't miss targets.
She does not miss targets.
It's a question of how many of us want to participate in it.
There you go. Amen. Want to say that again?
Yeah, it's just a question of how many of us want to participate. She's not going to miss the goal. She's not going to miss that target.
Amen. Boy, that's strong message. Okay, strong messaging. Thank you, Jen and Henry. I think that's a great way to end tonight. Make sure you have the swipe file. Make sure you have access to that. And let's start using it as a tool to grow business. All right, everybody. Say that again, Jen, for the people in the back. Mic drop. Unmute yourself. This is how we're going out with Jen Hageman. All right, Jen, unmute yourself and say it again.
All right, Stuart's not going to miss that goal of doubling this company in 5 years. Just a question of how much of that you want to be a part of.
Did you all get that? All right, everybody, thanks for being with me tonight. It was wonderful. As Lin-Manuel Miranda said in Hamilton, rise up. Okay, guys, take care.
Night,
Good
guys.
night.
Thank you,
Peace and
Terry. Thanks,
blessings.
everybody.
Great call.
Good night.